844-DR Glidden, 844-DR Glidden. That's the number to call to talk to me live today and any day. In a couple of weeks, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Next week, it's going to be Mike Phillip, because I'm going to be next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mike Phillip will be standing in for me, as I will be at the annual Longevity Convention. Taking classes myself. How about that? It's time to go back to school and support the downline, support Longevity Nation worldwide. That means the next Metaphysical Thursday, God willing, 2 weeks from today. And in the next few weeks, I'll be interviewing a Buddhist scholar, a Roman Catholic theologian, a Mormon theologian, a Zen Buddhist, and someone from the Jewish Kabbalistic tradition, and quite frankly, anybody else who I can get a hold of here, who's a luminary in their field, whose positions, are better than the average bears, to discuss in an open public forum here the relationship between consciousness, the soul, the spirit, and the body. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Now, there's one thing I wanted to touch on here, because it was interesting to me, right? So from the Siddhanta tradition, according to the Siddhantas, all that there is consciousness. That consciousness is all that there is. And everything in the world is consciousness, and physicists, quantum physics has gone a little bit in the direction of proving this. When Einstein proved that matter is solidified energy, E equals mc squared was Einstein's perhaps greatest contribution to the scientific arena. E equals mc squared means that all matter is just concentrated, solidified energy. That's all that it is. It's all solidified energy, which led to the ability to make an atom bomb, because the stuff that explodes in an atom bomb is about the size of a baseball. It's about the size of a baseball. It's unbelievably small to produce such an awesome explosion. How is that possible? Because when you deconstruct the matter, even of a very small thing, liberating the energy that is pent up inside of it, you get atomic explosions. So quantum physics, physicists have long held and know that everything is in fact made of energy, that's all that exists. It's energy in different states energy existing in different states. Well, from the Siddhanta yogic tradition, energy is consciousness, that there is no distinction between the two, that energy equals consciousness, and consciousness is all that there is. And consciousness exists in the physical plane of existence in many different shapes and forms. I'm one of them, you're one of them, your shoe is another one of them. Different levels of evolution of consciousness, different manifestations of consciousness, of course, all throughout the world. And one of the ways that the Siddhantans argue that you can increase the health of the physical body that we're living in, one of the ways that you can increase the health of the physical body is to relax the mind. Relax the mind and stretch the body. Relaxing the mind would be the more important of the two. The yogic practices, by the way, the yogic practices, the stretching, the bending, the opening up of, the soft tissue in the body, those physical practices are designed to open up the congested etheric pathways so that the prana can flow through them. But a way that's superior to that is by relaxing the mind. Well, how do you relax the mind? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every spiritual discipline everywhere around the world has labored with this question. How do you still and quiet the mind? How do you do that? It's impossible to control the mind. You want me to prove it? Okay. Don't think about a zebra. Don't think about a zebra. Do not think about a zebra. What did you just do? Well, you thought about a zebra. You can't control the mind 100%. You just can't. You can direct the mind. Right? You can think about a zebra. You can think about an ice cream cone. You can think about what you had for breakfast. You can think about the last time you saw your father. You can direct your thoughts, but it is virtually impossible to control them 100%. So, different schools of meditation argue that it is a fool's errand to try to control the mind. It would be a much better proposition to try to separate yourself from the mind. And one of the oldest practices of meditation in the world is called Shuddhi. Zen Buddhist meditation is an extrapolation of Shuddhi. It's the same thing. It's called mindfulness meditation. It's simply sitting in an erect posture with both of your feet flat on the ground, or if you're limber enough, you can sit in a cross-legged posture. The thing here is to not slouch over. You want to be sitting erect as much as possible so you don't fall asleep. And then you just want to close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and experience your thoughts. Just watch your thoughts, just like you're watching clouds pass overhead in a summer sky. We all did that when we were kids, right? Laid down on the grass and watched the clouds go by. Well, those were the days, weren't they? Well, when you learn how to meditate like this, when you can perfect this type of meditation, you can have a similar experience whenever you want to. So you just sit in an upright position and close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and then simply become aware of your thoughts. And every time your thought pops into your head, you just observe it and let it go. Rather than thinking about the thought or following the thought through to its logical or illogical conclusion, this practice of meditative discipline argues that you don't do that at all. You simply observe and release the thought. You observe the thought and you release the thought. What happens next? Another thought pops in, because that's life. You observe it and you release it. Here comes another thought. You observe it and you release it. You observe it and you release it. And you continue to just be the witness. Now, when you get good at this, and it's kind of like riding a bike. Remember when you learned how to ride a bike? First you needed training wheels, right? And then, you'd get on and you'd fall off, and you'd get on and you'd fall off, you'd get on and you'd fall off, and then all of a sudden you kept at it, but something clicked. Something clicked and you got it. In an instant, you got what balance on the bike was. You got it. And once you got it, there's no ungetting it. You could have gotten off that bike, never stepped on another bike for 50 years, and gotten on a bike 50 years later, and you'd still know how to ride it, because you never forget that. It's in your bones. Well, learning how to meditate is like that. Once you get it, you got it. But you have to get it first. And how do you get it? By trial and error, by practice. And ironically, it's an elegantly simple practice, but, in point of fact, is not the easiest thing in the world to pull off. So, here's what you do. You just witness your thoughts. You become a witness to your thoughts. And you ground yourself in that part of yourself which is witnessing the thoughts, because there is a part of you that's doing that. And it's the same part of you that was able to direct the thought. Well, when I said think about your father, that part of you that did that is the part that you ground yourself in this meditation. When I say think about an ice cream cone, that part of you that directed the thought is that part of you that you ground yourself in this meditation. You simply ground yourself in the witness, because it's there. The witness is there. Very few of us have a direct personal experience of it because we're so wrapped up in life. We're so wrapped up in the TV show of life, as Satchidananda put it. We're wrapped up in the movie. We don't understand that there's part of us that is separate and distinct from the movie. And it's that part of you that is separate and distinct from the movie which offers the possibility of a remarkable amount of relaxation and peace. Now, as you become more proficient in this meditative style, as you can actually do this and get into the groove and pull it off, what will eventually happen, might be sooner than you think, is as you let go of your thoughts and witness them, and let go of the thought and witness it, and let go of your thought and witness it, and let go of your thought and witness it, you begin to become grounded in a very still, small, quiet place in your body-mind. And you can be absorbed in the stillness that is part and parcel of the witness consciousness for hours and think that it's only minutes. It's more refreshing than the deepest sleep you've ever had, more satisfying than the most satisfying experience you've ever had, is to touch the hem of that garment, which is unruffled, unsullied peace. It's present for you every second of every day in the back of your mind. Different meditative techniques. Of course, this is not a religious thing, right? This is not a religious thing. Because the concept here is that this particular technique, or all meditative techniques, put you in touch with that part of you which is non-material. So, if you're a Roman Catholic, meditation makes you a better Roman Catholic. If you're a Jew, meditation makes you a better Jew. If you're a Hindu, makes you a better Hindu. If you're a Buddhist, makes you a better Buddhist. Because it puts you in touch with that which is, by its very essence, consciousness itself. And how can that be a bad thing? Now, you can interpret that however you want. You can interpret that through a Roman Catholic lens. You can interpret that through a Buddhist lens. You can interpret that through whatever you want, and that's not the point. The point is practical, pragmatic experience of the still, quiet place inside your body-mind, which, when actualized, gives to your body-mind a remarkable amount of health, vitality, and well-being. Greater than that which is brought to your body-mind by eliminating the 10 bad foods and taking the 90 essential nutrients. And if you can do both, Superman, Superwoman. 844-DR-Glidden. That's the toll-free number, 844-DR-Glidden. Give me a shout. Lines are open. We're going to California when we come back to talk to Dora. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. April 17th, 2014, 844-DR-Glidden, 844-DR-Glidden. We do have lines open, and that never happens. Let's go to Dora in California and see what's cooking. Hey, Dora, thanks for the phone call.
I want to know why the top number of your blood pressure goes up and down all the time.
Well, the top number of my blood pressure doesn't go up and down all the time. Does yours?
Yeah. Sometimes it goes way down to 136, and usually it stays at 151, or this past few days it's been 160, 163 over. Actually, the number on the bottom is in the 80s.
Well, yeah, okay, so that's good. So I'll give you a little history of blood pressure numbers, and then I'll answer your question to the best of my ability, okay? So remember, from the proper perspective, everything makes sense. We don't have a free medical market in the United States. We don't. And the medical science has been co-opted by reductionistically minded MDs who are directed in everything that they do by the pharmaceutical industry. So, when I was in medical school, when I was in pre-med at the University of Massachusetts, the recommendation from the American Heart Association for the upper end of normal of high blood pressure was 140 over 90. 140 over 90. And in addition to that, in order for somebody to be prescribed blood pressure meds or have some type of therapeutic intervention for high blood pressure, in order for them to be diagnosed with high blood pressure, they had to have 3 consecutive readings where both numbers were elevated above 140 over 90. Now, that's completely changed. The MDs keep lowering the numbers and lowering the numbers all of the time, not because that's a consistent understanding of human health, but they do it to sell more high blood pressure medication. And, years ago when they first came out with antibiotics, it was considered malpractice to prescribe an antibiotic for anybody unless you did a culture and sensitivity first, right? So you had to take a little mucus swab and you had to put it in a petri dish and you had to grow the bacteria and then you had to try to kill it with 3 or 4 different antibiotics. And, you didn't give the antibiotic that didn't kill the bug. You only gave the one that did. And it was kind of a convoluted process. But now medical doctors prescribe antibiotics over the phone. I mean, they don't do that anymore, and they should. It's the same with high blood pressure. Medical doctors now are in the habit of prescribing blood pressure medication if only one of the numbers is elevated once.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's malpractice, it's a bad idea, and, it's profit-centered, not patient-centered, and it's a big bad voodoo daddy. So, from my point of view, nobody has high blood pressure until they have had 3 consecutive readings. Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday night, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 consecutive readings where both numbers are elevated above 140/90. Now, that's not happening to you. You only have one number that's elevated, right?
And then I've never taken blood pressure before. It's just been within the last 3 weeks, because when I'd gone to the ear doctor, my blood pressure was way high. Both numbers were high.
Well, one of the things that happens there, Dora, is there's this thing called white coat syndrome, where people are nervous when they're in the doctor's office. And when they're nervous in the doctor's office, their blood pressure goes up.
Yeah. So rather than have a problem, I went ahead and took the 10 millimeters, which I've been taking now, but I want to get off of it.
Okay. So how much do you weigh?
I don't depend on it. I'm actually really underweight. I'm only 106.
106. Okay.
And 90 years old.
All right.
I'm actually in good health, according to the doctor.
How's your sleep at night?
Off and on. I take a de-stress, and I take the calcium. Seems to help. But I wonder if the blood pressure pill is keeping me awake.
Yeah, it could be. I would.
Sometimes you can hear your heart. In your ears. Palpitating in my ear. Is that a problem?
Well, no, it's not so much a problem at your age. But I will tell you how to get on the other side of this. We're coming up against a hard break. Stick around, Dora. I'll pick this up after the break and help you dial in a science-based, clinically verified way to support and promote healthy blood pressure, because it's a lot easier than you may think. Stick around. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Try on meditation. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, and you might just love it, as many people, millions of people all around the world have done. We're talking now to Dora from California about how to dial in her blood pressure issue. Dora, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
All right. So how do you take, which form of the liquid calcium are you taking? Are you taking it in the powdered form or in the liquid?
I take the liquid. I take, you had told me 2 weeks ago to take 4 tablespoons 4 times a day of calcium. Yeah,
and you're doing that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how many times a day do you measure your blood pressure?
Usually at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. And lately it's been going up and down?
Yeah, the top figure, yeah.
Okay. Well,
but it has gone down as far as 128 and 136.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, well, that's good. So
is it okay for me to not take the blood pressure pill?
How long have you been taking it?
It's going on about 3 weeks.
So, yeah, I would. So here's what I would do. Do you have a pill cutter?
Yes.
All right, I would cut it in half and take half of it for 7 days and then stop it completely. Okay. So get a pill cutter, cut the pill in half, take half of it for 7 days, and then stop it completely.
Starting today?
Well, tomorrow's good.
Take half.
Now, another thing that you can do by way of experimentation is move on up to 2 tablespoons 4 times a day.
Oh, okay.
Take 2 tablespoons 4 times a day. And our experience of that stuff, Dora, you gotta, I don't know, I don't know what your physical strength is like, but I'm anticipating you can move around pretty well. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure before you take a dose of the liquid calcium that you turn that bottle upside down and shake it.
I do, yeah.
Okay, all right, good. So, and we're finding that it absorbs more efficiently into your system. If you mix it with a little orange juice or a little orange pineapple juice or something that's a citrusy juice like
I take the tangerine.
Yeah. I would take this separate and distinct from that.
Oh, separate.
I would take it separate from it. Are you in the habit of mixing them all together in one glass?
No, I haven't been.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But what I would do, you can take them back to back. You can drink the Beyond Tangy and a couple sips of that and then a couple sips of the calcium or whatever. But if you dissolve the calcium or mix it with a couple ounces of orange juice, it's going to go into your body better. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that after you've done 2 tablespoons 4 times a day, that your blood pressure will be as right as rain.
Well, 4 times a day.
Yeah, that's you're doing 1 tablespoon. You're doing 1 tablespoon 4 times a day, right?
Oh, do 2.
Yeah, do 2.
Do 4 times. The last one take before bedtime.
Absolutely. Yep, 2 tablespoons before bed. You'll sleep like a baby.
I'm looking forward to that.
Dora, what part of California do you live in?
In Salinas.
Oh, Salinas.
And Lettuce area.
Yeah. Were you born there, or what's the story?
Yes, I have. I'm a Californian.
Yeah.
My folks were in the dairy business.
In Salinas?
Yeah.
Well, you must have seen a lot of change in 9 decades.
Oh, yes. Very much.
I mean, do you remember when they rolled out the first automobile? Do you remember when the first automobile came into Salinas?
No, I'm not that old. I'm old, but not that old.
My father died a couple of years ago, and I grew up on an island off the coast of Massachusetts, and he remembered when the very first car came to the island. It's remarkable, isn't it, how much has changed in just a few decades?
Even Salinas has changed quite a bit. It's not the nice town that it used to be.
Oh, is that right? Now,
so
what part?
1923, so I'll soon be 91.
Gotta love it.
My body isn't cooperating with my mind. My mind thinks young.
Well, was it Eisenhower? I think that said youth is a state of mind. It's not a time of the year.
It's just a number.
Yeah.
You've got to live with that number.
Yeah, it's really true. What part of the state is Salinas in? Is it north, central, or south?
Central. It's between L.A. and San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Monterey County.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world. What's
Rodeo.
Yeah, you've been through any big earthquakes?
A few. In 1989, I think we had a big one.
Yeah. How about forest fires?
Yes, we've had quite a bit down the L.A. area.
Yeah, that's the problem with California, earthquakes and forest fires.
It's
still,
so dry. Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the state.
It is. The Monterey area, Pacific Grove, is beautiful.
Yeah. Did you ever make it on over to Yosemite?
Yes, we used to camp there every year after school.
Really?
Years ago when they had the waterfall.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
One of the most beautiful places on planet Earth, Yosemite Valley. Man, I would have given anything to have seen Yosemite.
Take a trip out here sometime.
Well, I'd like to go. I'd like to find a time machine and go back to Yosemite Valley in, the 1400s and check it out. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah.
Right. So I'll cut my pill in half for 7 days.
Yep.
And take the calcium.
Double it up. 2 tablespoons 4 times a day from now on.
Thank you so much. You've made me feel a whole lot better.
All right, Dora, call me anytime. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. 844-DR-GLIDDEN, folks. That's 844-DR-GLIDDEN. If you haven't already done it, please visit the website, fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, or, notwithstanding that, if that's too many letters, just type in Dr. Peter Glidden in any Google search engine, and I pop up number 1 all the time. Click on the link, and you'll be brought directly to my website. And once you're at my website, please click on the Become an Insider tab. Become an Insider tab. in order to gain access to the health webinars that I have archived. I have over 100 hours of archived health webinars on everything from acne to xenophobia, describing the pathogenesis of the condition from the holistic perspective, describing how the MDs deal with it, and then what we do to support and promote the structure and function of the requisite part of your body. Tonight, for insiders and their guests exclusively, we're rolling out Healthy Bone and Joint Webinar Part 2, the Healthy Bone and Joint Webinar Redo. If you have the arthritic condition, if you know anybody that has an arthritic condition, if you know anybody who knows anybody who has an arthritic condition, they need to be at this webinar tonight. Because if there is one single solitary condition that Dr. Wallach's medical nutrition strategies are effective for 100% of the time in a noticeable, measurable way, it is supporting and promoting bone and joint health. Theo Ratliff, one of the oldest players in the NBA until he retired 2 years ago from the LA Lakers, about 9 years into his career, was told that his bones and joints were so bad, so unhealthy, that he was no longer able to play at the professional level and that he would need thousands of dollars of orthopedic surgery just to be able to walk down the road. Theo called Dr. Wallach up, said, "Doc, I've got bad bones and joints. What do I do?" Dr. Wallach said, "Oh, Theo, you need surgery." No. Dr. Wallach said, "Theo, you need to stop eating these 10 bad foods: wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, well-done red meat, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes, meat that has nitrates added as preservatives, and any carbonated beverage during a meal. You need to knock that stuff off, Theo. Just quit it. Stop it. Don't do it anymore. And take these nutritional supplements every day, appropriate for your body weight, like your life depended on it, and give me 9 months to rebuild your body." Well, guess what? For some reason, I don't know if it was divine intervention, I don't know if it was, just abject frustration or unrelenting trust in the stewardship of Dr. Wallach, but Theo followed the advice. He eliminated the 10 bad foods, and he took the essential nutrients into his body, appropriate for body weight, every day to support and promote healthy bone and joint function. And 9 months after the best orthopedic surgeons in the National Basketball Association told him that he was done, he came back without surgery and led the league in rebound, not only for that year, but for the next 2. And from the time that they told him he was done until the time he actually retired, he added $20-something million to his bank account in professional basketball salaries. Now, if that doesn't speak volumes for the effectiveness of medical nutrition, Dr. Wallach's longevity-based medical nutrition to support and promote healthy bone and joint function, I don't know what does. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. And virtually, I am still waiting to meet one person with some type of an arthritic condition who's tried longevity for 90 days and got 0 results from it. If you want to augment your income in a remarkable way, if you want to take a stab at human suffering, if you want to help your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your pastor, your grandparents walk around the block without pain, if you want to assist in the recovery of bone and joint health, you can do it. Because by hitching your wagon to our star, you will learn more about how to support and promote the structure and function of anybody's bones and joints, more than any orthopedic doctor in the entire world knows. And by the way, Medicare just released the list of physicians' salaries. They just released the list of physicians' salaries and how much they pay medical doctors, by discipline. The branch of medicine, the branch of allopathic medicine, which receives the most amount of money every year. Are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? It's orthopedic doctors. Orthopedic doctors, on average, earn $413,000 a year. The average physician with a general practice, practicing family medicine, $176,000. Orthopedic doctor, $413,000. Which, makes sense because one knee replacement surgery profits the hospital about $3,000, $3,000 to $5,000, depending on which hospital and which state and which county it's done in. There is massive money in orthopedics. Why? Because everybody's bones and joints are breaking down, not because of bad genes, not because of inclement weather, but because of lack of nutrition. It is an untapped area of human suffering that you can make a remarkable dent in. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Become an insider and make a difference in the lives of those you hold most dear. 2 hours has flown by today, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness only knows where that chunk of time went. Let's finish out the show today with Tanya, who's calling from Pennsylvania. Hey, Tanya, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come in, Tanya.
I am live.
You are live. Come on in, girl. How can I help? Thanks for the call.
I'm in. I don't know how to start. I never really was on a conference call so other people can listen to me. Well, you know what my subject was, cancer.
Is it something you've been diagnosed with or someone you know?
Myself.
What type of cancer?
Oh, well, they say, that's the way I go, they say it's a lymph node on the right side, and now it's leaning towards my lung. Well, they had me on 3 clinical trial studies in a hospital around Pennsylvania, and the 3 clinical trial studies did not work, and now it grew, and it's like pushing on the right side of my lung. Yeah,
so you were basically a guinea pig for an ineffective, dangerous, expensive treatment. Well, it wasn't expensive because it was experimental.
I knew that, yes.
Right?
Yes, yes, I know that, yes.
Well, you're not alone, Tonya. I mean, we've spent $600 billion. We've given the pharmaceutical industry, right, the people that need it the least, $600 billion to come up with a cure for cancer, and we've got nothing. We don't even have a shadow of something. And the reason that we don't have a shadow of something is because their methodology, their philosophy, their understanding of how the body works is incorrect. And so they're going to mess it up. They're the wrong dog for the hunt. And the last person you should consult with if you have any type of chronic illness, including cancer, is somebody with an MD after their name. Now, pity, more's the pity. It's illegal to treat cancer unless you're an MD. So it's nuts, right? Now, how much do you currently weigh?
I vary between 155 to 152, and I'm 5'7" and 61 years old.
Okay, and how'd you hear about me?
Through some people in the Lehigh Valley, Allentown area, Allentown, Pennsylvania.
All right, so do you have something to write with, a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what I would do if I were you to support and promote the optimal function of the human body. And then you want to get with the people who told you about me, and they'll tell you how you can get this stuff at the wholesale price, and they'll also tell you how to take it, okay? So remember, this is not a cancer treatment because that's illegal. This is a Tonya from Pennsylvania treatment. the intention of which is to optimize your body's ability to be healthy. So what I would do every month is, I'm sorry, I forget your body weight. What did you say, 150?
155. It varies from 155 to 152.
Okay, good. So every month I would order one anti-aging healthy start pack. One anti-aging healthy start pack. 4 bottles of selenium, and you spell that S like Sam, E, L like Larry, E, N like Nancy, I-U-M. 4 bottles of selenium and 4 bottles of Z like zebra radical. 4 bottles of Z radical. 4 bottles of selenium and 1 anti-aging healthy start pack. Now, those are the supplements that I would take if I were you. Now, in addition to that, I would immediately stop eating 10 foods. And you can get that list for free by visiting my website, fireyourmdnow.com, scrolling down until you see the link on the front page for the 10 bad foods. Click on the link, follow the instructions. It's free. Download the link to your computer. Eliminate those foods from your diet immediately. Get on board with this medical nutrition program. Keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. I'd love to talk to you more, Tanya, but we are out of time. God willing and the creek don't rise. 8 o'clock tonight. My bone and joint health webinar, Redo, for insiders and their guests only. Dr. Glidden reminding you to live long and prosper.